This is Nikola Jokic on a regular day. And this is Nikola Jokic if you caught him on a bad day.
Wow, but you just can't respond that way. But he's just...
See, while the Joker is pretty much Mr. Nice Guy most of the time, he can quickly turn into a monster if you make him angry. And trust me guys, unleashing angry Jokic is the last thing you want to do. But with that being said, there are several players who ignore the warning signs and still, for some reason, decide to poke the bear. And so, here's what happened to those poor souls. In a matchup some years ago against the Thunder, you can see here that the game was already over with the Nuggets up 9 with just about 35 seconds left on the clock. But out of nowhere, things got chippy. Jokic clearly didn't like what Westbrook did, so he jumped in and let his feelings be known, which is a normal thing to do when a player defends his teammate. Now, the two kept exchanging words afterward, and I'm not a good lip reader, but I think Brody may have taken a misstep when he said this.
Westbrook start jawing.
Again, not a professional lip reader here, but based on that clip, I think we can all agree that Westbrook wasn't talking about rainbows and unicorns when he opened his mouth. So anyways, Jokic didn't just forget what Westbrook said, and when the two of them faced off again in their next matchup, the Joker woke up that morning and chose violence. I mean, he hits nothing but net with his three while Brody was literally face guarding him. And check out how he bullied Aquaman in this play. Man, we all know that Steven Adams is arguably the strongest dude in the league, but what's crazy is that Jokic just made him look like easy money. And on top of that, he was hitting threes left and right as if he got his three-point sliders maxed out. Anyway, when the game was done, Jokic owned Westbrook and OKC by dropping a double-double of 36 points and 10 assists together with 9 rebounds. And I think from this point on, Westbrook, who was a -16 with 7 turnovers that game, learned to zip his mouth whenever the Joker is around. Anyway, just like Westbrook, Markieff Morris is another player who often bites off more than he can chew, and in this particular play, he didn't even see what hit him. Check this out.
Adebayo, no, Jokic was there. Nuggets have 5 on 4.
Okay, at this point, Morris must have realized that he shouldn't have done that. And as the saying goes, if you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
It was this. So Jokic, after getting a foul...
Well, it appears that Morris picked on the wrong guy, as Jokic is not the type of player who will just take it without returning the favor. Anyway, things went wild after that, and as if one enemy wasn't enough, Jimmy Butler also joined the party by lighting the fire even more, saying, Butler really did go to the back, but to be honest, it was more theatrics than anything. They weren't about to do nothing. Meanwhile, Jokic's brothers got involved in the crossfire by engaging in a Twitter war with Markieff's twin brother, Marcus. While there were a lot of things going on in the background, Jokic had his sights on revenge when the two teams had their next showdown. And although nothing physical happened in that game, Jokic got his huge payback when he led his team to an 18-point halftime lead, which was then followed with another W. Markieff, on the other hand, has never been the same since that incident. He only played 7 more regular season games since that November 8th incident, and then only played 1 playoff game where he logged in just a little under 3.5 minutes, had 0 points, committed 2 personal fouls, and turned the ball over once. Anyway guys, Gary Payton II also tried to mess with the Joker during the recent playoffs, which all began with this play.
Guys coming off screens, great screen set there by the elite.
After going for an offensive rebound, GP2 timed Jokic perfectly and swats away a shot. Now, moments after that, the Nuggets called a timeout to settle things down. But when both teams were already heading back to their respective benches, GP2 triggered the whole incident by doing this.
Playoffs bring it out of you. GP2 had that block.
To me, that was just an acknowledgement tap from GP2. However, it was obvious that Jokic viewed it differently. After the incident, the Joker seemed mad at the whole Warriors organization, and from then on, he just wrecked and bullied everyone who stood in his path. There was nothing nobody could do to stop him anymore.
Best season of his career in terms of three-point accuracy. Jokic, look at him, work with it.
Before the slapping incident, Jokic was just averaging below 26 a ball game, but check out his numbers after the slapping incident. Though they didn't win the series, Jokic was in beast mode for the next 3 games, and what's scary and funny at the same time was that everything just started from a seemingly harmless slap. Anyway, guys, Nikola Jokic sort of reminds me of Dwight Howard. You know, a big fella who loves to joke around off the court, but he could get angry in a hurry when pushed just a little. So, when these two collided in the Lakers-Denver matchup in the bubble, things got heated quickly between these two when they got tangled up.
Our broadcast here.
Howard knocks it out of Jokic's.
After scrambling for a loose ball, Dwight shoved Jokic, and after that, the Superman began chirping at the Joker to get into his head.
Went heavy on JaVale McGee. See if Dwight Howard, who has been the...
Well, as it turned out, Dwight played well against Jokic in that series, and the Lakers eventually eliminated the Nuggets in 5 games. Though the Lakers owned the Nuggets in that series, Jokic would have the last laugh by making a fool out of Dwight the following season with this nasty play.
Now Jokic trying to get the 3rd foul on Howard. He's got him.
Sheesh, guys. Jokic just forced Dwight to wear his dancing shoes right there. Anyway, guys, moving on here.
Pleading his case. And you know, I kind of agree with him.
Okay, so apparently that was Rudy Gobert's best impression of Jokic whenever he draws fouls. And that was a mistake. The Joker wasn't going to be disrespected by Gobert like that, so coming into their next game, Jokic returned the favor by toying him with shots like this.
Shot clock's at 3. Jokic, Sombor shot.
Jokic responded by having a monster triple-double in this particular game. And after beating them in the playoffs, he seemed to be far from done with Gobert as he continued to put a large target on his back the following season.
Time Defensive Player of the Year. Inside Jokic, little pivot, put it up and in.
Not a great shot, but boy, what a great result.
Clarkson having a terrific season as Jokic spins.
In their very first head-to-head matchup in the 2020-21 season, Jokic destroyed the Jazz by scoring 47 points, in which 22 came in the first quarter. Jokic was pretty much saying to Gobert, "It doesn't matter how many Defensive Player of the Year trophies you have, because if you disrespect me, I'm going to make you look like you don't belong." Anyway, here's another guy that tried to mess with the Joker and lived to regret it. When the Nuggets visited the Lakers at the Staples Center in 2018, the game was basically over already, with the Lakers leading by 9 with 30 seconds to go.
Both their numbers trying to completely take control of this before anything really does happen. It was just...
But as a parting gift, Randle gave Jokic a friendly nudge, as old folks would call it, but as expected, Jokic didn't take it lightly and was clearly unhappy with Randle's behavior, and so, just like his previous victims, the Joker marked his prey and vowed revenge whenever he saw him next. Randle eventually got traded to the Knicks in 2019, but despite that, Jokic still remembered what he did to him once upon a time in LA, and he had his payback by dunking on his face with this jam.
Jokic, Robinson, that time he went for the fake.
Jokic had 22 and 10 in that game and led the Nuggets to a blowout win 114-89. Now, if you thought Jokic was done punishing Randle, well, you're absolutely wrong. See, We all know that the Joker doesn't have hops just like the other athletic bigs, and we rarely see him dunk in a game. However, that was not the case when Jokic met Randle in the next game of that season, because it seems like Randle triggered the Vince Carter in him.
Also, give it to Jokic. Big steps, and he puts it on. Jokic, here he goes again.
How do you lose sight of him?
Finishing
After having a mini dunk fest, Jokic continued his rampage and even stole the ball away from Randle, and overall, just made him look silly.
Well, just another steal. Could have been a foul, no call, but then all of a sudden you get in the fast break, you want to get Michael Porter.
When the final buzzer sounded, Jokic had another solid revenge game as the Nuggets had another blowout win against the Knicks. This time he had 32 points together with 12 rebounds and 6 assists to show Julius Randle that he messed with the wrong dude. Oh, and before I forget, Randle scored just 14 points that game, going 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, and was a game low -21 in the plus-minus column.